Hello everyone, Zane here and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a great day so far. So, I'm here sitting on a cliff above the reunion in one of my favorite zones in all Stormblood, the Azim Steppe. I've been wanting to be making this video for a very long time, so I figured I'd start getting off my ass and doing it. Now, I've done a video like this before for Heaven's Ward, and that was my reflection, aka saying goodbye to Heaven's Ward as we go into Stormblood. So I figured I'd do the same thing for Stormblood, saying goodbye as we go into Shadowbringers, which just so happens to be coming out early access in 3 days of this video. Now, the one thing I have to say, Stormblood is my least favorite expansion so far. The story was pretty boring for the most part. The fights and everything were pretty intense at some points. I've had trouble with Byakko, Shinryu, Tsukiyomi. The rest were pretty simple. Susanoo, Lakshmi, Shiryu, Suzaku, they were pretty easy. I had no problem with them. In fact, Suzaku and Shiryu, I ended up beating within a few hours of learning them, which was actually pretty cool. So I was actually able to burn through all the fights pretty easy. Now, doggo farms were the biggest pain in the ass, with Lakshmi, Shinryu, Tsukiyomi being the easiest, where Shiryu, Suzaku, Susanoo, and Byakko were the biggest pains to get due to player based and of course just the roles being crap. But back to the main story, I really did not care for it as much. In fact, I didn't really give a crap about half of the characters. I didn't really have any connection with any of them. Unlike I did with Heaven's Ward, where I actually felt connected to Estinian, Nizale, and Haurchefant. And when they died, or when they went through their troubles, it really hit hard. Especially with Haurchefant and Nizale, dying in the end. Stormblood, anybody who died, I didn't give two craps. Medfred, Conrad, didn't care. The only person I truly cared about in the end was Yatsuyu. Knowing what she went through, being sold by her parents just to gain citizenship to the frickin' Empire and Golemald, to her brother who basically used her and kicked her when she was defeated. The fact that she got her revenge in the end was something that I was so happy for. She put us through hell, yes, but she deserved a redemption story, and she got redemption. Still died, but I enjoyed hers the most. Other than that, the ending was the best part of the whole expansion. To be quite honest, learning about the true nature of the Empire, learning that the Crystal Tower has more significance than we first thought. Everything was great at the end. The fact that we are going to the first in 3 days, I'm excited for. Extremely excited for. And I can't wait. As for the zones in Stormblood, as you can say, the Azim Steppe is my favorite. It's the least war-torn area. We have Reunion at the bottom. We had some interesting quests, which I actually enjoyed. Out there, we had the event where we would become the next Han of the Azim Steppe. Up in the mountains there, we have Bardam's Metal, which was one of the interesting dungeons of the expansion, with the unique trial in the second boss, and of course fighting Rathalos, and as well as one of the dragons in the Dragoon story, which I had a hard time doing because I never understood how to pass enmity to Estinian. The other thing that I kind of disliked about Stormblood was the lack of Estinian. Even though his presence were very few, I still enjoyed when he actually made an appearance. I did not like the whole fighting the Empire to regain the control over the city-states. I did not like that. I found that story very boring. I liked Heavensward, where you were fighting against dragons, uncovering the mystery and the falseness of the war and everything. I truly enjoyed it. Estinian made it even better. There was war between dragons, which of course I love dragons and all their glory. The storyline with Horace Velgard, Ratatoskar, Nidhogg was the best story of 14 I've ever seen in my life, and Stormblood just really sunk into the sea with the story, and it was just like, I just hated it. The fact that, yeah, we went from Doma to El Amigo, and Doma was, honestly have to say, better than El Amigo. You go to El Amigo and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go find out, we're gonna go find some treasure to get back the money that we lost buying frickin' what's his face, Gosetsu's a katana, and it was just like, why? It was just so stupid and so boring. And Doma was just better in terms of story. I just didn't like going the back and forth between the patches to go to each side of the world. It was just, it was boring. The 5.5 and 5.0 stories were probably the best as well, because we were finding out a lot of things about the Empire. About Solace and Varus and the Asians and all that. I really think that the ending was pretty good. A little bit better than the Heavensward one, but still pretty good. Now, for crafting, whoa, for crafting, I went above and beyond with crafting in Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. As you can see, I went head over heels with the videos with 4-star, 3-star, doing everything possible to bring you guys what I could for crafting. And I honestly think I did the best job with crafting this expansion. I really pushed myself to bring out some of the best crafting guides I've ever put out in my life. And it definitely has made me think and put more effort into those videos. I'm still pissed off that crafting was still easy. 4-star to 3-star to 4-star was embarrassing. Same macros, nothing difficult, you know. I was a little bit disappointed in that. With the crafted shared gear at 70, I understand why they did it, but I miss crafting the AF gear for crafters. The fact that script gear is what you had to do to get the individual AF gear for the crafters. I thought that was pretty lazy. I think people should strive to craft them, not just craft a certain item, pass them in, and get scripts. Oh, here's my scripts, give me the item, cool. I don't like that. I like how Heavensward, we made the items. Didn't like how they went with it, but we still made the items. That's what I liked. The script thing, I didn't. And they're still probably going to do it in Shadowbringers with the white scripts. They're going to give us the AF gear through these white scripts, and I think that's just lazy. You know? Us hardcore crafters want it harder, not easier. With the Ishgard housing, with crafting, and the way that's going to be going on, it's nice, but I honestly I'd rather have crafting gear where it actually is enjoyable. Now getting to 70, oh, here's shared gear for all the classes. There you go, catering to the crybabies out there. I'm sorry, but again, crafting was better when Heaven's Ward and Realm Reborn. I'm sorry, but there's so many people out there doing guides for you guys. There's no reason to complain how hard it is. And materia is getting easier to get now, so there's still no reason why we can't go back to the way things were with crafting. I really hope crafting and Shadowbringers will be just as fun, but please make it a little bit harder. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing more crafting in Shadowbringers. I pray to God we don't have another early access like we did with Stormblood. I really did not want to get into crafting and or gathering right off the bat, but because we couldn't get to the story, I had no choice but to not only waste my vacation, but I ended up gathering and crafting way sooner than I wanted to. I wanted to get through the main story before I did anything. And another thing, early access. It was the biggest clusterfuck I've ever seen in my life. With the DDoS attacks, the instance problems that we had. It was a nightmare. I was really upset at the launch of Stormblood because I wasted my vacation on early access. I couldn't get the actual release week off because one of my coworkers took that away from me. So I was really upset when I wasted my early access and I couldn't do nothing. I was pissed off. So the fact that we are splitting the data centers up, Balmung and the rest of the other servers are on Crystal. We're hoping for me on Gilgamesh here, we're hoping that this change will help alleviate the congestion for the data centers. We're still probably going to get DDoSed. Please be prepared for that. Prepare for server queues, prepare for DDoS, disconnects, issues, all that. Be prepared for it. Okay. I was head over heels waiting for Stormblood. I went through so much hell in my time to get to Stormblood. If you guys know, in March of the year of Stormblood, I think it was 2017, as you guys know, I went through surgery on my mouth to get all the teeth removed. I only had 3 left, so weren't much. I went through hell getting used to it. The pain, the suffering I went through just to get the Stormblood, and just to have this crap fest of a launch pissed me off so much. And so because I don't really have much to go through before Shadowbringers comes out, I won't be so disappointed if the same thing happens again with Shadowbringers. I'm still going through crap now. I mean, we just recently I've been going through, we have a little bit of an ant infestation in my room, which has me not being able to be in my room for the past week, which has been very trying on my mental state of mind, because my room is my room and I can't enjoy Shadowbringers if I can't be in my room. And so it has been a really tough time for me this past week, and I'm glad we just got our exterminator spraying my room and the house and everything. So hopefully the ant problem that we have in my room will go away in the next 3 days. But I went through so much in the past 2 years. As you guys know, I lost my mother last year in February. I lost my job last December. I'm thinking that as a godsend because I truly and utterly needed to get away from my job. And so definitely my stress levels has been a lot better since I've lost my job. I do see opportunities coming in the next few months. So hopefully we'll be back in the workforce very, very soon. So definitely has been the worst 2 years of my life. I've lost 3 most important things in my life. And I don't know how I ever would have done it without you guys. As for my channel, oh my god, you guys really don't know if my channel has skyrocketed since Stormblood. I've went from under 2,000 subscribers. I'm up to 2,400 and counting. My milestone was to reach 2,000. I did that. My next milestone was to hit 500,000 views. I did that. I'm up to 520,000. Sorry. I'm up to that. And now I have to make a new milestone. My new milestone is 1 million views with 5,000 subscribers is my next milestone. You guys have helped me blow that out of the water. Even though this is a hobby of mine, you guys don't know how much you helped me get through the loss of my teeth, the loss of my mother, the loss of my job, my mental state of mind, my emotional state. Everything has been better because of you guys. The Final Fantasy XIV community is the best community in the entire gaming world, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. That's why, from the bottom of my heart, I really thank you for everything. I definitely am proud to be a part of this community. Now, getting back into Stormblood, the one thing that I have learned from Stormblood is that don't be afraid to try things. I played Dragoon since A Realm Reborn. For 5 years I've been playing Dragoon, and I come to a realization that I was tired of it. I was bored of it. It just wasn't strong enough. The job for me wasn't strong enough. I wanted more power, you know, and Dragoon just, I didn't feel like it was enough for me. If it wasn't for Tsukiyomi, I wouldn't have realized that I needed a change. I just felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job as a Dragoon, and I needed to make a change. That's why I changed to Samurai as my main. I changed my main to Samurai during 4.3 because I just couldn't do Dragoon anymore. Like I said, I wanted more power. And Samurai was a straight up DPS. Nothing to worry about. The mechanics of the job was easy. I picked up very quickly. I didn't take me very long to really learn how to be better at it. And now I'm a very proud Samurai main. I mean, sword DPS was one of the things I enjoyed the most. It's what the most job I always wanted to play was a DPS sword type job, and Samurai fits the mold. I haven't abandoned Dragoon altogether. After seeing what Shadowbringers is going to bring for Dragoon, I can't wait to go back. I probably will still go back to Samurai after, but as of right now, I'm going to be going back to Dragoon. But I will still be looking forward to Samurai when Dragoon is done. The other thing that I took away from Stormblood: healing. I, for the first time in my life, leveled every job to 70. Except Blue Mage. That's a different story. White Mage was my go-to healer. I enjoyed White Mage above all else. I don't like Scholar. Don't like pet healing classes or jobs. So I didn't care for it. Thank you, Summoner, for that. But White Mage, I felt comfortable. I understood the job. The abilities were simple, straightforward. It was a strong healer, very easy to learn, very easy to do, and I have become not just a tank DPS, but a tank healer and DPS. I have proven to myself I can do all three. Not in like extremes and stuff, but I can do all three jobs if necessary. I went and done every raid normal versions with healers, which I didn't think I could do. And I'm very proud of myself because of that. As for tanks, Dark Knight definitely has shown the best improvement in all three tanks, in my opinion. I did enjoy playing Dark Knight. Dark Knight has definitely changed for the better in Stormblood, and I was more than happy to play it and level it up. The story was amazing, but I definitely enjoyed it the most. It had the best changes of all the jobs in the entire 14, and I'm very excited for that in Shadowbringers. Definitely the way they're changing it, and I just can't wait. I'm just so freaking excited for Shadowbringers. The other thing that I did, and I haven't done this since Titan Extreme as Warrior and now Realm Reborn, I tanked an Extreme Primal, or in this case Auspice, but I did Suzaku. I did her as a Paladin. I tanked her when I was doing her farming. I just couldn't stand the fact I kept being screwed out of farm parties because I wasn't a tank. So I jumped into learning parties. I learned to tank her. I learned how to swap, tank swap and everything. It took me a few, but I did it. I learned it. I tanked her, and I got my mount. I just couldn't keep waiting and waiting to get into the fights to get her dog, and so I learned to do tanking for the first time in an extreme fight, and I was actually pretty good. I sometimes I get a little bit emotional when I do a tank swap for the first time because I'm not used to doing stuff like that, and I felt really proud of myself. Something I can take away is that I've broken my fear of tanking in an extreme fight. I tried doing Seiryu, but I was like, no thank you. I can't do it. There's too much to learn as a tank, and I was like, nope. But I did it. I broke my fear of tanking extreme fights. I don't plan on doing it. I want to tank in Shadowbringers, but we'll see. We'll see how the fights go. But Shadowbringers, Stormblood has definitely helped me in so many ways. Crafting, healing, not being afraid, tanking, not being afraid to do extreme fights. And I'm just super excited for Shadowbringers. Somebody just sent me a tell. But I'm very happy the way I turned out. Mentally for me, I've just been so much better in this expansion, and I'm very grateful for what I've taken away from this game, from this expansion into Shadowbringers. As for my favorite moments from this expansion, again, when Yatsu got her revenge on her parents and her brother, finally she was able to rest in peace. It was the greatest feeling of all, to see her get revenge. Shinryu. For me, Shinryu was my opinion, my favorite fight. Besides Seiryu, Shinryu was my favorite. The whole part of the fight that really hits home, and every time I listen to the music, was when you are going to fight him on his platform after he slams his tail and you have to run across to get to him. I remember as a dragoon sprinting across his tail with the weapon, how the animation changed when you're running, sprinting across his tail. I was always the first one to go, and being ahead of the group, I felt, because I was a dragoon, you kill dragons, right? I just felt so emotional every single time I run across that tail, and all you would hear is the Stormblood theme song ringing in your ear every time you would run across the tail, leading the group to fight him and finish him once and for all. I would break down in tears every single time, because I just felt so immersed in the music and the fight, and being the leader, leading the group to victory. It just felt so amazing, and it really broke my heart Every single time I hear the music, I just think to that moment. And all the moments I could take away from this expansion, it was that moment. Defeating Shinryu at the last second, he enrages, throwing us off the frickin' platform, and I think the dots killed it, or whoever didn't get thrown off last did enough damage, but we defeated extreme mode at the last second. I have it recorded, and it was the frickin' amazingest feeling in the world to have that done. And that was my greatest achievement, was that fight. Anyway, all in all, Stormblood story was bad. At some points it was good, but other than that, it was bad. I didn't like it. I loved Heaven's Ward better. I didn't like the war fighting and thing. I just didn't. I hate the Empire. I can't stand the Empire fighting arc. I just couldn't stand it. With Shadowbringers, we're fighting Light Scent. We're fighting Sin Eaters. We're fighting against evil once again, not an empire. We're fighting evil. Just like Heaven's Ward, we're fighting evil. And I can't wait. We're 3 days away from early access. If early access sucks because DDoSing and disconnects, it'll get figured out eventually, before the official launch next Tuesday. But I can't wait. I really can't. I'm excited for what I'm going to do. I'm excited for what I'm going to be able to make for guides, videos. I'm super excited. Ash, I know you're probably going to be watching this. If you do, get ready, because you got competition in the video making for crafting, okay? I'm going to bring it, and hope you can bring your A game too, because this is it. This is where I'm going to shine the most, is in Shadowbringers. So again, thank you everybody for listening. I hope you watched this whole video. This is my final thoughts on Stormblood. I'm gonna miss this place, but we're gonna move on. I will see you guys in the first. So till then, may you forever walk in the glorious light of Lord Bahamut. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in early access.